Hey Rum Fam, thought I would do some more Hampden reviews. I'm sure a lot of people are going to watch these. No, so first of all, no, I don't have the new overproof. I don't. It's not in Chicago yet. I don't even think it's in the U.S. yet. I'll buy it when it's around, but not yet. But I do have these old Velier releases that I'm going to review. LROKs. It's always a little bit like I love Hampden. I am Hampden's number one fanboy, or at least I'd like to be. But it is sometimes depressing when I will put out like some video where I get really passionate about like peach brandy or something, and no one watches it, and then I do a Hampden review, and oh Hampden, we love it. It's great. I know these are good, like, but. I do wish like this wasn't the thing I was most known for is nerdy rums. Oh well, if I've got to be pigeonholed, that's not a bad one, I guess. All right, so these are Habitation Velier bottlings from 2020. I think these were all U.S. releases. And the fun thing about these is they are both LROKs, LROKs, which is the kind of just starting to get serious on the esters marque of Hampden. This is the 300 to 400 level of grams per hectoliter of pure alcohol level. So I have one that is completely unaged. This is and one that is 10 years old. I reviewed Hampden's own 10-year-old LROK a while back, and I thought it was okay. A little bit underwhelming, but very good because it's Hampden and everything they make is very good. So let's go through these. So I thought it would be fun to kind of do a side by side on basically aged and unaged versions of the same marque. So let's get started with the unaged LROK. This is 57.8% alcohol, which is not going to be still strength. That's going to be considerably stronger than this. Bottle 2020, I don't know what to say about this. And let's dig into it. I mean, it's Hampden. On the nose, you immediately recognize that kind of cherry cola with rocks dumped into it kind of nose. Yeah, cherry Coke. Lots of black olives on this, actually. Fennel. Quite a lot of fennel. Black licorice. Some seawater. What is it? Almost like a touch of maple syrup in there, but it's almost like eau de vie of maple syrup, if that makes sense. Like, it's very aromatic. It's very ethereal. Slightly floral, maybe like flowers muddled in lime juice. There is a little lime juice in this. Minerality, the kind of rocks, almost a wet soapstone kind of thing. Fresh engine oil, not dirty engine oil. This is the fresh stuff. So you just pop some Mobil 1, and now you're smelling it. Fried banana, actually, which I usually don't get in Hampden. Here I'm actually getting some fried banana. A little bit of like a herbal cigarette kind of note. Maybe like one herbal cigarette. I mean, it kind of smells like, textbook mid-ester Hampden, honestly. Which is by no means a bad thing. That is a very, very good thing. God, Hampden is just like the I don't know, like the Joe Louis of rums. It's like it's always a little bit different. Always brings a different game plan each time, but it's always kind of the same thing too, and it's really hard to beat, even on a bad day. All right, on the palate. Same kind of thing. Mid-ester Hampden. We're starting to get a little bit of that kind of flowers meets rocks meets flowers again thing. That a little bit of that is starting to happen, but not nearly as much as Rum Fire. Actually, that's the main problem with this. I like it. I don't think I like it as much as Rum Fire. Cherry Coke, banana, almost banana candy. Wet rocks meets flowers. That thing. Fennel, brine, anise, olives, olive oil. Almost like a potato, like a new potato, like a slightly green potato kind of thing, which is more New. I associate that with New Yarmouth than I do with Hampden, but here it is in Hampden. That herbal cigarette thing again, a little bit of double gum, and some more rocks, and that's really about it. Very nice. I like this. But again, the trouble is, Rum Fire, $30, and it's a higher mark than this, and it's really good. But again, the fun of doing this too is the learning experience, right? I'm gonna add some water. Come back to it for. It needs 5. Okay. Let's move on to the aged one. Now, I've had a tricky time with aged LROKs. I really, really enjoyed the cast from New York. I was not as hot on Hampden's own 10-year-old that I tried, and then the 5-year-old LROK was just a great little value for money. Just a fun comfort drink. So I'm curious what this Velier pick is going to bring. All right, Hampden LROK 2010, bottle 2020 for the U.S. Jamaica single rum, 10-year-old, 62% alcohol. Be careful, there's a couple of different bottlings of 10-year-old LROK. Again, this is the 2010 bottled in 2021. Bam. Big old hit on the nose. Boof. Here we go. So pineapple upside down cake smothered in black licorice is what I'm kind of getting here. A couple of black olives thrown on top again, which is interesting because I was also getting black olives on the unaged one too, right? Seawater, vanilla, lots of vanilla. Flowers. It's interesting. The flower. I'm not really getting the flowers and meets rocks kind of note that I was getting. I was starting to get here in the unaged one. In the aged, that's kind of faded out. But I'm still getting floral notes. Sweet tea, lots of sweet tea, and the cherry coke thing, which is kind of a Hampden signature for me. Yeah, wet rocks again, that kind of wet soapstone kind of note. Cinnamon sticks, a little bit of like even like a tiny little Christmas candy cane stick too. And like a slice of cream pie. It smells very desserty, very delicious and yummy. All right, here we go on the palate. Oh, fantastic. I mean, is it my favorite Hampden that I've ever had in the world? No, but I mean, it's hard to beat this. This is so you're getting fennel, anise, lots of licoricey, absinthe stuff, soaked in olives and seawater, and all of that mixed together and dumped on top of like a pineapple cake and a coffee cake and like some fudge, like confectioner's fudge, not chocolate. Like this is just vanilla and sugar. and then garnished with rocks and flowers. That's what I'm getting on the palate here. Cola. Cherry cola, really. Yeah, sure. But also just like regular RC cola, which is interesting because usually I associate that with column stilled rums. But here I'm getting it on hand. Maybe that makes sense because this is a lower marque Hampden, that it makes sense for cola notes to show up. More rocks, vanilla, a little minty, actually quite a lot of minty. Some caramel, and kind of a peppery thing, but it's not. What is that? It's not really like black pepper or white pepper. This is almost more like a Scotch bonnet kind of thing, like a sweet chili, but not like it's not attacking my mouth. I'm finding it delicious and nice, and kind of a salted caramel thing too. That's just really good. Hard to beat that. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Thanks for your patience. Well, I got. Oof, it's still a little hot. So that's like 5.5. Okay. Let's go back through these. Both of these not official Velier bottlings. These are Habitation Velier bottlings. And then, but I mean, maybe I should talk about that a little bit because it kind of worries me that Velier has had such a hand in the official range at Hampden. I mean, I know why they did it because Velier is so good at gauging the tastes of like European, mostly European, but to some extent American drinkers. But it's also just one of those things that worries me a little bit in like the long term. Other people worry about Velier for other reasons, particularly the found. I mean, I'm not going to go into it. If you really want to worry about the founder of Velier, you can Google Luca Gargano anti-mask and start reading. Not going to, but that's not that kind of personal stuff. Isn't really what I worry. What I worry about is the fact that Velier is now so entangled in the production and worldwide distribution of kind of dirty rums. And to the extent that there's almost no one out there providing the same kind of competition. And I don't. At the moment, it's not worrying me, but I can see a problem arising there in the future, if because monopolies are bad, right? I don't want, I want lots of cool rums available to drink from all over the world. I don't want one company bringing them all in. I would like competition happening so that, importers can fight for the best producers and say, I will give you this much money, I will give you this much money. That way the producers make more and they can pocket more and make more awesome things. Competition among distributors and importers here in the U.S. hopefully does good things for consumers here too. But anyways, I'm babbling a bit. I like that Velier is bringing in lots of stuff. What I would like to see is more of a marketplace of others doing the same thing and fighting it out with Velier in that same marketplace, because as this thing grows, as the rum world grows, and it will, if there is not that, things will get unhealthy very quickly. All right, I'm gonna stop talking about that and move back to my Hampdens. All right, LROK for the U.S. Bottle 2020 unaged, now with water. So the water really brings out the cola element and the seawater. I'm getting a lot more kind of briny notes now. Actually, that Scotch bonnet note I was getting on the palate with the 10-year-old is now kind of showing up on the nose here. White pepper as well. Very peppery, actually. So seawater, fruit, cola, pepper. I mean, it's nice. The problem is, as I drink this, it's in my head. I'm comparing this to Rum Fire, and I still think Rum Fire is better. All right, but let's give this a shot on the palate. Water improves the mouthfeel and the finish. It really brings out the minerality and the flowers a little bit more. They were very prominent before. Now they're really running the show. Oh, that is good. It gets a little bit sweeter, a little bit more. So it's almost rock flower candy, if that makes sense. It's layered. It's interesting. The only problem is it still isn't as good as Rum Fire. So I'm going to give this 87 points out of 100. Worth grabbing, you know, if you want to know what unaged LROK is like. But I mean, just buy Rum Fire. Just buy Rum Fire. Most consumers will be happier with that. 87 points. All right, moving on to the 10-year-old. Now with a little water on the nose. It's hard to beat Hampden. They're so good. They're so good. Part of me really wants to be annoyed because I've had a lot of these kinds of notes before, because I've had so many Hampdens to this point. So I want to, you know, really be able to trash one, and I can't. It's just too good. This smells like the best spice cake in the world ever made. It smells like it's just perfect, beautiful spice cake with salted licorice all over it. Oh God, it's good. You could accuse it of maybe not having all the detail in the world, but the action for me was more on the palate. So we're going to see what happens on the palate. Here we go. Damn it, Hampden. So water brings out the oak in a good way. In a good way. And there's just this beautiful interplay between the vanilla and the tannins with like this licoricey cake kind of thing and the rocks and flowers. They're starting, the rocky flowers thing that I wasn't getting before on the palate, now it's showing up. Are you kidding me? This is just, it's just so good. I can't get it into the 90s. It doesn't have those little details in the nooks and crannies, but this is right up there. I'm going to give this 88 plus out of 100. And yeah, Hampden. I've said before, I think they're probably the best distillery in the world right now. At least the best sort of largest distillery in the world right now, and I'm going to stand by that. I mean, they just don't put out bad stuff. So, 87 for the unaged LROK. In a marketplace absent any other Jamaican overproof rums, this would be a value. It would be a killer value. In a world where Rum Fire exists, this suddenly doesn't look like such a value, but it still gets 87 points. LROK 2010, Habitation Velier, gets an 88 plus. It's very good. I like it more. I think I like it more than the official bottling, but it's still not up there with the New York bottling I had like a year or two ago. Thanks for watching. Hope this is useful, and please consider watching the Peach Brandy videos. Thanks. Cheers. Bye.